Welcome back, fellow Minecrafters. Alright, so I've gone ahead and done a little more of this head off of camera, and you know what? I'm liking this sea monster, sea serpent idea. So I think I'm going to run with it. These are just, like I said, these are the bare bones of the project. What we're going to do now that we've got it all a little bit fleshed out is we're going to go ahead and, well, we're going to finish off the aesthetic. And what I mean by that is that we're going to go ahead and we're going to try and make this look as though it's coming out of the water, out of the island itself, and wrapping around. So we're going to start back the opposite way. As I said before, you'll notice our leaning 8 up there. This is going to be basically the same principle, except for this time we have to kind of melt it into the ground here, which fairly easy. All you got to do is remember that your limits are what they are, and you don't want to go beyond those boundaries, because then it'll start to lose its, I don't know, format, I want to say. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this off, start building it back this way again, probably go all the way over here to the water, maybe a little after, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back, and what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've put this down under there, curved it around, back around, I put it back through and over, under the water, over the little land mass here, back down till it finally teeters out to a small tail here. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this, but there have been a couple of maps in which I thought something was created, and say it ends right here. Well, that's fine. I mean, it comes out of the ground and it's all nice and dandy, but without this extra little bit of tail here, you kind of wonder what exactly it is. Well, at least I do. Alright, so as you can see, I've gone ahead and I've filled in the blocks. Gives it more of a pattern look. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead. These will all be left open on the tops for the whole parkour instance in this part of the map. But the sides, every single side is going to get filled in now. So that you can see. Now, when it comes to this type of area right here, it's not going to be necessary. It's not going to be necessary to fill in everything, because, well, there's just some areas that you're not going to be able to reach while falling. But as I said, the sides will all be filled in. It'll give it more of an appearance like the rest of it. And when I'm done with that, we'll take another look and probably begin the tower. Alright, so I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, we've gone ahead and we've filled in the outer layer of all the black obsidian blocks. We're going to repeat the process now with the blue ones, and at that point we're going to go ahead and make that tower. Now, the thing I wanted you to notice is that even though the tops and bottoms of every one of these blocks is open, you still get that solid appearance. And that's really what we're going for. We really want them to believe that they're safe until the last minute, and then they will see all the holes in the solid ground they thought they were about to get on. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to repeat the process with the blue cubes now, or the lapis blocks, and then we will go ahead and take one last look before we go ahead and start this tower up. As I said, this is something that will need to be traversed by the player in order to continue on with the map. So while there are a couple of things that I will not be showing you for the most part, this build in the pieces that you can see will be the end result. As I said, I'm probably not going to show you what's going down on the inside of the tower here, because that's going to be a little important. But as you can see, we're coming along pretty nicely here. We've got ourselves a bona fide sea monster. I think that at the end here, that's exactly what we're going to call it. It is a sea monster. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up these lapis blocks, and we will be right back. Okay, so here we are. Everything has been blocked off. You can see now the shape and the colors quite clearly. It seems almost as solid. There are a couple of small problems. Right here where we have our leaning 8s, you can see that there's kind of a no transition area. See, here's the original 8s, and now it seems somehow like color's been skipped. But you don't have to worry about that, because on the inner side here is where I'm going to have the tower. It's the outer side that's going to be quite visible. So as long as we have that pattern going as it should in that area, we will be fine. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to build the tower straight down the middle. Here, as you can see, we kind of have our little pattern there if we were to look closely enough. It's not going to be that big of a tower. It's not supposed to be that thick of a tower. It's supposed to be kind of thin. But that's the general idea. So now there'll be a tower in between here. I know a lot of you are going to ask, well, why not just build the tower first? Well, that's because I want this to be the main focus, not the tower. And if I start building a tower first, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to eventually end up trying to beautify, maybe is the word I would want to use, the tower itself. And that can cause problems with me trying to put the snake around it. So I went ahead and did it this way. So next is the tower. And our sea creature will finally be coming together. I have debated, really, to be quite honest, I've kind of debated whether or not I want to go ahead and bring this tail that keeps mumbling up over everything all the way over to here. Have it maybe rest on the end here, but we'll see that eventually if that's something we decide we want to do. For right now, we have our basic shape, our basic layout. We are ready to insert the tower, and once I get that done, we will be right back. Okay guys, well, I began to do the tower here, and it looks like the family has come home. This ran a little longer with the prep and whatnot than I had originally anticipated. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it right over here. Take one little look at it real quick. so that we can get a general idea, and then I'm going to have to go ahead and make... Wow, this really has turned into a series all on its own. Okay, well there you get the general idea of the tower that will be in the center of the sea monster. We're building it up inside there. All I can really say is that this will have features, but for right now I'm just trying to get my space accurate. So it hasn't really taken shape as I had hoped it would by the end of this video. But we will continue this next time. So thank you very much for joining me, and I'm outie.